What's happening. This is going to be about the baseball playoffs. Now, right now, Boston is going to play Houston. And the common denominator is Alex Cora because he used to manage. He was with the Astros bench coach when they won the World Series and they were caught stealing signs. And now, of course, with Boston, he got caught stealing signs and he got suspended for a year, but nobody talks about it. But the Astros been catching heat. And Dusty Baker had to hear it from Tony Larissa's loud mouth, trying to still stir up stuff. And the Astros had a good time spanking the Chicago White Sox 10-1 in Sydney. Overrated, overinflated behind home. The White Sox are a great offensive team for putting up numbers, but I wasn't buying them as no World Series contenders. The division was too soft, and I just wasn't feeling them. The Astros are still the most talented team I've seen in baseball. I'm going to break it down to you like this. I got to see what happens with the San Francisco Giants and the Dodgers tonight. The Dodgers paid the most money, and right now they're the Yankees of baseball today. They've been spending money. They've been on a high with that. The Giants have been the cardiac kid like no one knows, but they're always in the mix. And Boston has been there, but Boston had caught breaks. I still say that ball that ricocheted in that 13th to 12th inning the other night, that was a normal grand roll double, but it was an error because it hit off a dude. But Fenway, they weren't going to let that run go for Tampa Bay. And Tampa Bay is one of them teams that's soft like the White Sox. The numbers are great, but they weren't no true contenders. I just don't feel it. I don't feel it. I like what they got, but they missing that pop. Atlanta's back in the mix. Atlanta's waiting on the winner of San Francisco and the Dodgers in National League. But anyway, anyone would accuse Dusty Baker of cheating. The Astros went through that. They did get to the World Series against Washington. It was one of the craziest World Series I ever seen. They've been arguably the best team in the American League the last 5 years. This is their fifth straight American League championship series. So there's so much cheating that you can do, but I'm tripping about Tony Russo coming at Dusty Baker. Dusty Baker is a great manager. Dusty Baker is a winner. And to me, Dusty Baker, there's some teams that I watch that if Dusty Baker was managing them, they'd be a lot further along. Because Dusty Baker is in familiar territory. He did get the San Francisco Giants with Barry Bonds and Jeff Kent to the World Series. They lost 20-2. I still don't know how they lost, but they were in there. And he had the Chicago Cubs. But Bartman, he had that team. Good. And now he's got the Astros. Good. The man know how to manage. That man can flat out manage. He's one of the best to do it. So I ain't trying to hear Tony Russo trying to throw no shade at him. Tony Russo need to take his drunk behind somewhere and sit down. He's a great manager. He thinks he's kind of like the baseball Pat Riley with how he navigates and how he gets in. He does a great job of building teams, but he need to go somewhere and sit down on this one. Dusty waxed his behind and good. Anyway, that's my thoughts and takes about Dusty Baker was facing criticism from Tony La Russo. Just got through waxing that behind. I hope he beats Boston too. I see Dusty Baker all the way to the World Series. I see Dusty win. Dusty's always been one of my favorite, not as a player, but one of my favorite people in the game of baseball. So I like to see him win and shut his critics up because he is one of the best managers, period. I ain't seen him go nowhere and the team roll over and be boo-boo. So must respect to Dusty Baker. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts and comments. And I do respond, thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another. I don't want to hear nobody in baseball talking about someone stealing signs of steal. They all steal. It's a matter if you get caught. Obviously, it don't matter much because Alex Cora still got a job with Boston. He got rid for a year. Boston sucked. They fired that manager, brought him back. And everybody's acting like they don't see nothing, don't know nothing. Tell me baseball don't have double standards with what they want to have, what they don't have. But funny how Dusty Baker, black man in Houston, catching all the hate. Alex Cora's almost skating and nobody's saying nothing. I'm out.